Scorpio, this is your astrology forecast for March 2016. Thank you for joining me. It's really nice to be with you. A couple of things going on for you this month. I'm going to give you a rundown of what's happening pretty much day by day and what energy you'll be working with. The first thing that occurs is that Saturn is in your second house, in Sagittarius, and that starts to form a square with the Sun, and it stays in that square aspect until the 12th of March. So the first 2 weeks of the month are really going to be ruled by this energy. The Sun is in Pisces in your 5th house. You're going to feel really romantic. You're going to feel very kind-hearted, warm-hearted, like you genuinely care about other people. And this is going to come into conflict with what you're trying to achieve in your working life, especially with money. So money versus people is going to be a theme here. And obviously, the biggest kind of success that you'll have is, ironically, when you focus on your relationships and focus on the positive feelings, that will mean your relationships improve, but also your career will take care of itself. So the focus should be on relationships, and that's the way to make things easiest for you. On the 2nd of March, a T-square occurs that starts to form, and that stays there for a really long time as well, until the 18th of March, so 3 weeks. And this is an area of motivation and friction. So it connects that Saturn and Sun that I've already mentioned, but it also brings in the Jupiter, which is in your 11th house. Okay, so it forms this kind of magical triangle that says if you care about people and if you look after your relationships first and foremost and make that your paramount, the top priority, then your hopes and dreams in terms of your relationships can and will come true, and you'll receive opportunities from other people that then also have a positive knock-on effect to your working life. So the answer is definitely people. On the 3rd of March, there's a yod that occurs in your chart, and it connects your Uranus, which is in your 6th house, driving you to work harder, to take practical action in your day-to-day life, and your Venus, which is in your 4th, the love that you have for people, and they combine beautifully to create a real opportunity in your work. So it's this positive outlook that is really making you inspired and is giving you some good ideas, and that is bringing, so you're sending out a positive vibration, and because of that you're getting value back from the universe, and you get doors of opportunity opening for you. So you can you'll notice that by either meeting new people or being offered things by people. People will approach you with good news. You don't actually have to do anything to receive it. All you're doing is tapping into this positive energy, and it comes about almost magically. On the 5th of March, Mercury goes into Pisces in your 5th house. You've got Mercury in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, your midheaven in Pisces, the Sun in Pisces, and Chiron in Pisces. All of them are in your 5th house. So it has been good for you in terms of relationships and the way you feel for other people, but from the 5th of March, that gets even stronger. Strongest element in your chart is water, and I would say in terms of topics and themes, the thing that you're going to find is most successful for you here in March is love and romance. What you put your hand to in that theme of your life, what you try, asking someone out on a date, telling someone how you genuinely feel, the odds are really, really stacked in your favor here, and there's real potential for you to experience massive romance and love in your life. Venus also goes into Pisces in that sector later on in the month. It does that on the 12th of March. So from then on things get even better, because Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. So that's really, if I had to put this into categories, money, fame, career, family, love, romance, the top one that you've got here is love and romance. On the 6th of March, Mars moves from Scorpio in your sign into Sagittarius in your 2nd house. Mars doesn't particularly like being in your sign, and I think you would have felt excessive pressure on yourself. I think you would have been very critical of yourself. I think you would have felt a sense of frustration, and that really opens up now, and it's a big relief. It's like you can breathe again. The soldier is kind of on a horse now, riding away, doing something rather than feeling trapped and like he's been put underwater. What this will do for you specifically is give you a sense of it'll give you a perspective that'll tell you that anything is possible and the sky's the limit as long as you research. And I think you'll get a real thirst for knowledge. That's knowledge in the real world, but also spiritual knowledge. And I think you'll be on a mission to discover what your path forward is. And the key to that, it will seem to be information. And I think you're on the right track. All of this is going on in the background of this real focus on love and romance, and I think that'll be what's taking up most of your time. But you can also really make a lot of headway when it comes to financial ideas, work ideas, how you can become more prosperous and abundant. On the 7th of March, Jupiter starts to sextile the Ascendant. Your Ascendant is in Cancer at the moment, in the 9th house. That gives you a desire to travel, and Jupiter in Virgo is about practical action. So this is a wonderful month for you to actually explore the world, to explore new healing modalities, and also to explore spirituality through meditation or through religion. The key point here, and with Mars in Sagittarius as well, is that you're going to have a strong drive to move forward and to go places where you haven't been before. On the 9th, the new moon occurs, and that happens in your 5th house of romance and relationship. The new moon is when the moon is black and pulls in new energy, so it's pulling in this Piscean energy of love, of selflessness, of really having your heart open, being like the King of Cups in the Tarot. And it pulls all of that in. Now, it's not just a new moon though, it's also a solar eclipse. So that new moon is interrupted. The solar eclipse is on the south node of the moon, so it's about releasing things, letting go of things. And that new moon has Chiron right in the middle of it, which represents pain, emotional pain. So for you, this is an opportunity, and it's amazing, and it'll last a long time. This for you it's an opportunity to replace past disappointments in love and romance by amending the present. So, you know, if George 5 years ago dumped you and you still feel devastated about it, it'll be much easier to deal with that and to let it go if you meet Ben, who's gorgeous and successful and who's in your life right now. And that's the kind of thing I see here, is that your present in love and romance is so good and positive that it overtakes any of the negative things you've had in the past, and you're able to release those patterns. And that is really doable. You know, a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, I repeat these patterns in my relationships and I'm doomed to repeat the same pattern over and over again. And especially I notice that women who are in abusive relationships feel like they're doomed to repeat this. But patterns can be changed. And patterns can be changed. The first step here is to recognize that there is a pattern, and then to let go of it, to, you know, take the emotional attachment, whatever reason is there that you're holding on to it, and to actually let it go. And a solar eclipse like this is an ideal tool for you to let go and to shift some of this negativity that's been sitting in your life. Now, we're not doomed to anything. Everything is changeable. Everything comes to an end, one way or another. And if it's difficult, if you throw everything you've got at it, often you can shift it. That's my personal belief. On the 10th of March, the moon goes into Aries in your 6th house, and you're going to feel very nurtured and very much at ease doing things your way, moving things forward in your working life. So 10th of March and the 11th of March as well, it's very much about you being quite willful when it comes to your work. Watch out for conflict there. If you've got really, really set notions and ideas of how to do things, you might run into someone else who's also got set notions and who doesn't want to bend or compromise. On the 10th and 11th, it's going to be your way or the highway. So just be aware of that. Obviously, in a working environment, you've got to get on with people and you've got to be able to see other people's point of view. got to remind yourself to do that on the 11th and 12th. Venus, which I mentioned earlier, Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, goes into your 5th house of romance and relationship, and that sector of your life is really on fire. You've got these other things going on, work and money, but really this is the crowning achievement of March here, and it's, if you're single, if you've been single a long time, you've given up on it, give it one more shot here in March, because this is really, for you Scorpios, just such a wonderful time of opportunity, everything coming together. If you work on it, you can let go of past disappointments, resentments, and you can really replace that with that amazing new relationship that you've always wanted. So Venus is the planet of love and beauty. In Pisces, it's very giving, it's very open, it's very innocent, it's very trusting, and sometimes you need that to bring in someone good. You know, if you're constantly on guard about someone who'll cheat on you and someone who'll lie to you, then there's a wall there, and genuine people who don't operate on that vibration won't even appear. So this is when you really can make yourself vulnerable again and find something that's genuine, someone that's genuine. On the 13th of March, the moon starts to trine Jupiter and the North Node. The moon is in the 7th in Taurus, so you're feeling very much at ease with other people, very comfortable in your own skin. And the more you the more you socialize, the more upbeat you will be, the happier you will be. And the 13th is especially the day when you should spend with other people and just spend time socializing and having fun. Maybe that's how you'll meet the right person, through your friends, because that's where your hopes and dreams become realized in that sector. There's a Grand Cross on the 15th. A Grand Cross is when there are 4 squares in the sky, and it causes real friction, and it makes you pushed and pulled in every which way, and it's difficult. Romance is part of it. Then communicating with people at work is something that's important to you. Also, scrutinizing your direction, your path at work is going to be highly important. And then also, you'll feel prompted to just throw everything up in the air and to go move to Saint-Tropez or Barbados or Tahiti or something. So you're literally all over the place with your ideas and your actions. I would focus on your positive, harmonious relationships, your romantic relationships in particular. That's your biggest asset here in March. On the 17th, there is a triangle of friction. So that's 2 sesqui squares in a square. It connects your Mars and your Venus. So the archetypal male and the archetypal female connect with that moon in the 9th. I don't think this has so much to do with romance and relationship, but there are lots of different kind of moon goddesses. Okay, I think in Greek mythology it was Hecate. I think that was the goddess of the underworld. Was it? I think in Egyptian mythology it's Isis, the goddess of magic. But there's always been an archetypal female figure of the mysterious, of the unknown, of the female figure who rules the occult, the unseen, the unknown, you know, the mysterious. I think in Celtic mythology it was Queen Mab. So what I'm getting is that the goddess, and whether you're Christian or Muslim or whatever, this is an archetypal energy. This is non-denominational. It doesn't mean that Hecate is coming down. It means that the archetypal goddess energy makes an appearance in your life and gives you an idea. So whether you're given a gift, a spiritual gift of clairvoyance, or having secret knowledge, that's really what this is, secret knowledge, the archetype of secret knowledge. Your eyes are open to something secret in some way, and it becomes a natural part of you. You as a Scorpio are very interested in uncovering hidden secrets anyway. So for you to have something revealed to you through your emotions, possibly through your dreams or your meditation, is going to be massively valuable to you. And this, I personally think this is going to be some sort of spiritual gift. Amazing. On the 18th, the moon goes into Leo in your 10th house, and the moon represents what you feel nurtured by, what's comfortable. This is a period, 18th, 19th, 20th, is a period of social acclaim at work. Your achievements are recognized, you do well. Expect some publicity. So whether it's your colleagues saying well done, or whether it's the newspaper doing a story on you, or whether it's the company having some sort of publicized success, you shine. And this is the best 3-day period so far in the month when it comes to work and career. On the 22nd, I missed out the 20th. On the 20th of March, the moon is still in that 10th house in Leo, and it starts to quincux 150 degrees, your sun in your 6th, and your Mercury in your 5th house in Pisces. This is really quite a special day because your moon, your energy, your drive is going to be very focused on making things happen, being practical. Okay? The moon is kind of bathing in that glory and is enjoying that social acclaim, but your Mercury is giving you intuitive messages saying this is real, this is the truth, this is what you should do, this is what feels right. So it's navigating you, it's steering you along this period. It's a magical period where things are going to happen to you via other people that are positive. So listen to your gut, listen to that kind of new intuitive gift that you've got to really navigate this period and to get the most out of it. Mercury goes into Aries on the 6th, less mystical, more focused on work and what you can actually achieve. Very, very practical. It combines with your Mars in your 2nd house. You really become a tycoon kind of minded person now. You become very practical. What's going to work in a business sense? You know, you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the real things here, and you're getting down to the nitty gritty. The full moon occurs on the 23rd, and the full moon is in Libra, and that's in your 12th house of spirituality. The full moon is a fruition of energy, blossoming. So everything seems quite beautiful in a Libra moon. It's very elegant, it's very enchanting, very spiritually divine in your case because it's in the 12th house. But there's also a lunar eclipse that happens. So this full moon is interrupted and the lunar eclipse is on the north node. So it pulls more Libra energy in. And that opposes your work and your romance, and the glamour and the shine and the specialness and the joy is dropped into those two areas of your life, which really you have a lot of success in both those areas, Scorpio, romance and work. So this is really a very lucky month for you, and that new moon is like a super, not a new moon, the full moon is like a super full moon because the lunar eclipse interrupts it and pulls in more energy. 24th of March is a T-square between Uranus and that moon and Pluto, and this is a renewal of communications with a party who you have not had access to or you haven't spoken to in a while. Communication starts up again, and it is productive and it's constructive and it's going to be influential in you getting things to go forward. Okay, the 26th sees the moon now going into your sign of Scorpio, so you're going to feel very comfortable at the end of the month here, smugly sitting back enjoying this amazing fabulous month that you've had so far. And that moon connects with Neptune in your 5th. The moon in your sign anyway makes you feel very comfortable, but the moon, remember, illuminates the night. It illuminates secrets, hidden mysteries. Neptune is the veil. It protects mysteries. It's the water planet of intuition. This is another day of real insight, and also real insight in terms of your intuition, your knowledge, but also your heart is just wide open. You're so loving. You're so open to really making yourself seen by another person that you can really get very, very close to someone this month and really build the foundation of a very special relationship with someone, a holy relationship with someone. You know me and I know you, and we know each other. A grand trine also occurs. That's in fire, So it's not just soppy, wishy-washy, it's real passion, real romance, real desire at the same time. And that Grand Trine stays in place until the 31st of March, so that passion is there until the end of the month really, and you finish it with a bang. And then on the 31st, the Moon and Pluto conjunct in your third house of communication. And your focus shifts now a little bit moving into April, and you're focusing on your friendships and how you can change your friendships around a little bit and do some spring cleaning there. But that's for April really, and you're changing gears altogether. March looks amazing. If you've got any questions about your love life or work or your life purpose, please get in touch with me via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you'll see the types of readings that I offer. Remember to subscribe to the channel so these videos actually show up. YouTube can be a very kind of mercurial kind of thing. Sometimes they show, sometimes they don't. If you like it and if you subscribe, it will help. I'd appreciate it. And if you want the forecast for next month, I'll do that obviously for April, but I'm also here on the YouTube channel for the daily tarot readings. Have a look at those if you're not familiar with those. They give you a rundown of the day-to-day energy. So I hope that's been useful. If you've got any questions as well, you can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Gregory Scott 444, and I'll speak to you soon.